Great. Half an hour before he comes home. Tonight is Joanna and Richard's marriage anniversary. She decorated the house, set up a nice candlelit table with Richard's favorite dinner. The aroma filled her apartment and maybe even the corridor outside. She knew Richard would be so excited to sit down at the dining table the minute he reached home. A sprig of rosemary for that special touch. Richard is going to love this. And now, it's my turn. Joanna couldn't take the anticipation when she heard the keys rustle outside the door. It was only 8 and Richard was home. Wow, you look beautiful. And what is that smell? Something special I cooked for tonight. After Richard got freshened up and sat at the dining table, Joanna served up some dinner. Richard was impressed. The food looked like it had been made to perfection. He picked up his knife and cut into the steak. The look on his face changed when he took it into his mouth. He sat silent for a minute as he chewed. And with a sudden smile, he said, "Joanna, you have mastered the art of cooking. This is delicious. I love it. I made it just for you." Richard took another big bite. "So how's it been with work?" "I'm working on this really interesting report." "Reminds me, how's your colleague? Roxanne was her name, right? I haven't seen her around lately." "Oh, she's in a better place now. She moved out." "Why?" "Nothing. Saw the mailman dropped her mail into our mailbox." Richard pushed his plate forward for a second. "This smells and tastes like a delight. Give me seconds. What meat is this? Ham or pork?" Joanna laughed as she watched Richard devour the food like a hungry beast. "I knew you would love it." It all started 1 week ago, when Joanna discovered something that shattered her world. Joanna had the perfect life. After graduating college, she set foot towards her goal to become a successful journalist. Her passion for the career brought her to New York City, where she got a good job at one of the biggest news companies. In due time, with a lot of hard work, she earned herself a good reputation amongst her colleagues and her boss. And then, Joanna met the man of her dreams, Richard. They were the happiest couple, and their relationship was nothing but bliss. It wasn't long before the two decided they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. They rented an apartment in Manhattan, which turned out to be quite expensive, but when Joanna had received a promotion at her workplace, and Richard was doing well for himself as well, everything began to work out. And now, it's been a year. With their wedding anniversary coming up, the two decided they would start trying for a child on their special night. Richard had even taken Joanna out to buy nursery items. Richard, isn't it way too early to buy this stuff? Of course not. If we're gonna be parents, we need to be prepared ahead of time. The trouble began when Joanna began to notice that someone had been messaging her husband all too often. One day, while her husband was in the shower, she took the opportunity to check his cell phone. She was shocked to find out it was a woman, one that she knew. Roxanne. Joanna had stumbled upon Roxanne at her workplace. She was an intern who had come all the way from Georgia to New York City in hope of becoming a news anchor. Joanna remembered the same struggle she went through when she came to the big city. She introduced Roxanne to her boss and recommended her. And she got the job easily, as Joanna was very well known and respected at the workplace. But when Roxanne first started working, she found herself struggling to keep up with the task. Joanna had often stayed late at the office to help Roxanne sort things out. Over the days of being with Roxanne, Joanna came to know she was a little depressed and a bit homesick. Roxanne had managed to find a cheap apartment in a rundown building in a very bad neighborhood. I've never lived like this before. Everything is so crowded. There's no one here I know, no one I can talk to. I miss home. What are you talking about? You have me. If you need to talk, I'm here to listen. The truth was, Joanna pitied the girl and tried to be there for her and support her through her emotional breakdowns. When Joanna got news that an apartment was being vacated in her building, she took the opportunity and let the apartment supervisor know that she had someone trustworthy that wanted to move in. It was a small one-bedroom apartment, and Roxanne could easily afford it with the salary she was now receiving from her job. Since they worked at the same place, Joanna even drove Roxanne to the office every morning and back at night. Roxanne and Joanna became very close, and Joanna appreciated the gratefulness she received from Roxanne. It was soon Roxanne started doing well at work, and she was happy with her cozy apartment, earning loads of money that she could afford a rather lavish lifestyle. But after all Joanna had done for Roxanne, she had betrayed her. Joanna was devastated. She didn't want to believe it was true. Joanna had to get to the bottom of this. The next morning, she sat at the dining table with her husband. "Richard, I have some news. My boss has assigned me to a new project. I'm gonna have to go out of town for 3 days." "Are you sure it's only gonna be 3 days?" "Yeah. You won't even realize it. I'll be back waiting for you at home." "No, you have to confirm it. By next Friday night? You'll be here by next Friday night." "Yes, I assure you." "I'll miss you. Call me when you get there." But Joanna had lied. She wasn't going anywhere. She got ready, grabbed her luggage, and bid farewell to her husband, only to sneak out to the roof. There was a small vacant room where she could stay for those 3 days. Joanna had no other choice but to know the truth. She had set up the baby monitor Richard had gotten her just a few days back in his bedroom. This way she could spy on him. But Joanna wasn't ready to handle what she saw. That night, she was heartbroken when she saw Roxanne and Richard enter her bedroom. They were together. Joanne watched as her husband sat down with Roxanne on her bed. "Roxanne, you are so beautiful. It's hard having to wait for those right moments to get to see you, but now we have 3 whole nights all to ourselves." Joanna couldn't help the tears. She turned off the footage and fell to her knees. What she feared was true. Joanna remembered all those days that she waited for Richard to come back home from work, but he would be late. Had Richard never felt for her? Richard had been fooling Joanna. His love was fake. Their plans to have a child was nothing but a delusion. Joanna's heart was filled with nothing but anguish. After 2 days, on Friday night, "Joanna, you're right on time. I miss you so much. I was getting anxious thinking you would be late." "Yes, right on time." "So, how was your trip? I want to know everything. You must be tired." Joanna could see through it all, Richard's pretension. She remained silent, pondering on the whole matter for the next 2 days. She didn't know how to confront him. She felt depressed and deceived, not just by her husband, but even more so by Roxanne. It was as if she had made Roxanne what she is today, and she backstabbed her. On the morning of her anniversary, Joanna woke up and got ready. She prepared her husband's breakfast and watched him go out the door with his briefcase. She peered through the curtains and watched Richard get into his car and drive off. She then got her bag and left the apartment as well. "Joanna, ready for work already?" "Of course. I woke up a little early today." "Why, Roxanne? Didn't get enough sleep? Do you have trouble sleeping all alone at night?" "No, it's not that. I'll be ready in 5 minutes." "Roxanne, my husband really loves your body, doesn't he?" "What? What do you mean?" "Joanna?" "This smells and tastes like a delight. Give me seconds. What meat is this, ham or pork?" Joanna laughed as she watched Richard devour the food like a hungry beast. "I knew you would love it."
If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.